Hey guys, how's it going? It's Heather, and today I'm going to be telling you about my thoughts and opinions on Marie Lu's Warcross. So I just got back from her event in Asheville at Malaprops, and it was so amazing, and that video will be up this weekend, and I will edit the video's description and put the link to that video under this video. So I originally had Warcross as an ARC, but it was like an e-copy, and I printed it out so I could read it easier. I had it binded in this lovely little binder right here, and I actually started reading this a couple days ago and I finished in about a day, and I had to take so many breaks because it was just hitting me in the face with everything that was happening in the book, and it was just immensely crazy. Of course, this review will be spoiler free, so I'm not going to give anything away, especially the ending, because oh my god. I actually had to stay after the signing last night to ask Marie a spoiler question that I wasn't allowed to ask during her conversation, and her answer was just like, oh my god, really? So Warcross is about a girl named Amika Chen, and she's a bounty hunter in a futuristic New York City, and Marie actually said that this book takes place about 10 years from today, so it's really in the foreseeable future. But Amika actually hacks into the Warcross game, she's caught, and she gets whisked off to Tokyo, where Hideo, creator of Warcross, wants her to actually be a part of the game as a bounty hunter for another hacker / a wild card in the next game. So really it's kind of like a Cinderella moment where Amika is thrust into this world she never thought she'd be a part of. She barely has any money to her name, and here she's going to be offered like $10 million if she catches this hacker that Hideo is after. So we know that the cover of this book is so colorful, and Amika is a colorful character. I mean, her hair is freaking rainbow, and her attitude is really colorful too. I mean, it's not the kind of colorful where she's always happy, but she's very persistent. She has a strong attitude to get things done, and she has a strong will. I mean, she's just a strong girl no matter what is thrown at her in this book, and that was so amazing to read. Amika is definitely a character that any reader can relate to, and it's so amazing to see that in the book. Now, Hideo Tanaka, he's 21 years old. He's the creator of Warcross. His character, from what we see throughout most of the book, he is very guarded. He has all these walls up, and for some reason, whenever he talks to Amika, it's pretty obvious from the first time they meet that there's something there. Now, I'm not going to go into serious depth about it, but it's definitely refreshing to see Hideo's walls come down and to learn more about him. And I actually did enjoy learning more about his backstory, where he comes from, how he came to create Warcross, and what he does behind the scenes. Now, I don't really want to put too much focus on Hideo just for personal reasons, let's just say. But he's definitely a character that I'm interested in learning about in the next book, so let's just leave it at that so I won't have to spoil you guys on what actually happened. So let's talk about Warcross, the game itself. You enter this virtual reality world, whether you have glasses on or you're an actual player, and you enter the game through like this pod. You can be put into any kind of world that is created, like an ice world or a desert or just a white space. And it really reminded me of like Mario Kart, where you get to race through all these different worlds and see different things. And it's actually funny because Marie Lu did say that, you know, this book, part of the inspiration is from her time when she was working at Disney around video games. And yes, there is a mention and a scene with Mario Kart, and it makes me just want to play it right now. Like, I just want to grab my video game and just play it. Mainly, you aren't really going on foot. You're kind of on like this hoverboard, at least that's the way I imagined it. And you have to capture the other team's artifacts, which is like on top of their head. So imagine like the Sims game in the diamond. You have to catch that, and it's all different colors, and that ends the game. And there are different tournaments with 2 teams against each other. It's not an easy game, clearly. So there are going to be obstacles coming your way. There could be terrifying monsters, mythical creatures coming to stop you. And this doesn't help Amika when there's also a hacker loose that she has to catch. And that hacker's name is Zero. And we don't really see his face. He's just covered in like this total body armor, and it's totally black. And he does show up in some of the games, and it just kind of throws Amika off. It's definitely interesting to visualize the games in your head while you're reading, and it really makes me wish that this is real, like this can be in the foreseeable future. Who wouldn't want to be in a virtual reality game and to win all the glory? Whenever I was reading this book, everything in my head was just so colorful, hence the colorful cover itself. So I just really envision this as like a badass movie. I would not be surprised if this was made to a movie in like a year or so. There's so much I want to talk about with this book, but I don't want to spoil it because it hasn't been out that long, and I just really want you guys to read it because this is something that will just grab you. I mean, if you have never read Marie's books before, I would definitely want to start with this book because it is just so amazing. It just takes you to some other world. Wherever you're reading this book, in your house or at school or in the park, once you dive into it, you feel like you are thrust into this other world, into the future with virtual reality games and hoverboards and all this other stuff. I can see why this book is so widely praised, and I am just so happy that I got to read it early. I'm happy that I got to see Marie last night in Asheville and talk to her about it. Actually, I really babbled, but you know that's how I get around my favorite authors when I get nervous. But seriously guys, if you have not bought this book already, you need to. I mean, the cover is gorgeous, but the story inside is even better, and I can't wait for the second book. She said at her event last night that she's already turned in the first draft, so we are getting closer and closer by itty bitty steps to getting the second book, which according to her is going to be the last book because Warcross is a duology. Again, pick this book up, go to Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, go to your school bookstore, see if they have it, buy it, put it on your shelf. It is gorgeous. Who doesn't love something that's colorful like this? But I really wish I could tell you more and just tell you everything that I read and how it's just going to blow you away. It's going to give you a headache. You might have to take a break in between a few chapters, which is what I did, but I enjoyed it all the more, and I just want to read more of Amika's story. I want more. Really, that's all I can give you. I just have to tell you that you have to buy it to find out more. I'm being serious here. I'm not being paid to talk like this. I'm not being sponsored. This is my own free will, my own free thoughts. Just buy the book. Okay, that's all I have to say. Follow my social media accounts, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys later.